Braun is a G1 Autobot who I really don't care about. He was part of the original 84 cast as part of the mini vehicle collection. Outside of dying from a shoulder wound in the 86 movie, I feel like Braun has had like no meaningful appearances in Transformers media. But hey, maybe Skybound will give him something to do. I mean, they brought Beachcomber back from the dead. Oh, no. They killed him. He's gone. Actually, wait. He did have one appearance. He had that cool redesign in Bumblebee. But let's be honest, he's never showing up again in live action. And if he is, he's gonna get freaking ripped in half in like 2 seconds. Okay, so this little strongman has gotten shafted in the media department, but what about toys? Well, there was this troglodyte, and today's figures, Legends Titans Return Brawn from 2017, and Deluxe Studio Series 86 Brawn from 2023. Which one of these fodder fighters comes out on top? Let's take a little look-see. That kind of hurt. Also, I've read some of your feedback and I'll be incorporating it into today's video just to make it even more perfect. So first, let's talk about Braun's design. To be honest, it's not my favorite. While I don't hate it by any means, I think it's just a little bland. And the only real distinguishing feature here is his big round cranium, which looks like this guy. They've even got the same color scheme. And his name is Man-at-Arms. And where does Braun come from? Your fists, which are attached to your arms. Enough braying, let's get to bite-sized Braun. For a Legends class that was retailing for $10 at the time, I missed when this was such a cheap hobby, he looks pretty good. Lots of paneling and mechanical detail for such a small figure. I especially like the underside of the forearm. It reminds me of Bay vs. Ironhide before he was a corpse. The green here is deeper than the cartoon and more akin to the G1 toy. And you've got the condiment yellow here with a little blue decal on the waist. And the head sculpt ain't too shabby either, very Juggernaut-esque. Now, a theme that is going to be very prevalent in this video is paint chipping. Lil homie's got some, specifically on his mitts and shoulders. But I'm willing to cut this guy some slack. He's a Legends class from like 57 years ago. I will not be as lenient to other Braun type figures later on though. His articulation isn't really basic, so we're gonna have to go in manually here. Head can look back and forth, shoulder is on a ball joint, same with the elbow. Legs are on a ball joint, thigh can swivel, knee can bend. And that's not too bad for a guy I could swallow whole. No, that is too quirky. We are not quirky chunguses on this channel. That is the worst sentence that's ever came out of my mouth. We're gonna be normal for the rest of this video, I swear it. Okay, back to Braun. These ball joints have aged very well. Yippee. And he also happens to be a very solid figure. He will not wiggle around when you shake him like a normal person. Do not shake him too hard. You do not want to give him a headache. Let's spin him around to analyze for potential hollow points in this action figure. His leg is a little hollow, but I don't mind. Oh. That's it, we're done. I'm going Chungo mode or whatever that guy said. Put something up on the wall here that's quirky, like a video of Family Guy or something, the Family Man show. Is this normal enough for you? Am I normal enough for the quirked up white boy club? Is this normal enough? Is this normal? Let's just cool off a bit. Let's clean Braun up. Accessory-wise, he has a shield, which will be important later, and it can tab in right here. Maybe should invest in a shoulder guard, though. Scale. Here he is next to Titans Return, Legends Sea Spray, Deluxe Slug Slinger, Voyager Galvatron, Leader Overlord, and Halo CE. All right, so here we are in the mission 343 Guilty Spark, and look at the atmosphere of this mission. Look at how creepy it is. This fog, the ambience, you can't see a thing. You don't know what's out there. You're probably pooping your pants. Now let's switch it to Anniversary, and this looks like Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disney World. Why is everything so bright? But robot mode, pretty decent. How's the alt mode? And here we have the Jeep mode. The transformation is for babies, but it's still fun. And the Jeep itself looks good. The detail from the robot mode carries over here for sure. And you do have some light parts forming with the shield turning into a part of the roof, but you know what, it's fine. Who cares? And if you're a dumb idiot milk-sucking baby and lose the roof, they got you covered with these very small molded-in windows. Just know that every single time you look at that roofless Jeep, you'll know it should have been one of the other sperm and not you. It can roll too. Any headmaster can take a ride with them. Overall, this is a really fun pocket-sized figure and one of the best Legends figures I've ever handled. Not much of a reason to pick him up today, but I like him. And before we move on to 86 Braun, let's take a slight detour down under my pants. Because I am Jobby the Hong now, see? Penis joke. You don't believe me, huh? You don't believe me? Think I'm a little liar? Let me prove it to you. Gross. I'm very sorry, Legends Power of the Prime's Outback from 2018, who was a retool of Braun. Let's get you cleaned off, buddy. If you don't know who Outback is, don't worry, you're not alone. From what I remember, this guy's an Australian robot. That's it. Also, he's just Braun in desert colors with a new head, but I really dig this paint job. He looks like a dingo ate his homework or whatever it is you crazy Australians get up to down there. He's got a new chest decal and a new head sculpt. Alt mode is the same except for the paint on the roof is now chipped. Bummer. This guy's also pretty fun, but I would hold off on picking him up because I'm sure in the next few years we're gonna see a retool of him from this figure transition.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Braun's latest and greatest figure is Studio Series 86, and yeah, this guy is a massive step up from Titan's Return. The deluxe budget helps Braun here out a lot, but he is not without his issues. Aesthetically, Braun mostly looks absolutely ideal. We've got some cartoon accurate colors with the muted green and yellow, and the mechanical detail is nice, especially in the chest. This just looks so Brawny, and that makes sense. Head sculpt is a lot better too. I feel like it just captures Braun's energy a lot more. Could just be because it's bigger and I can see the detail better though. Alright, that's enough praise. Let's talk about what I don't like about this guy. Basically, this whole guy's upper section is painted, which isn't a bad thing inherently, but what is a bad thing is when the paint starts to chip, which it has. Stop biting that! I haven't had issues with the arms or head yet, but his chest is already chipping. That sucks, but honestly, what I think I hate more is this back. Ugh, it's just ugly. Now, I know that these smaller deluxes, they have less room to work with. Like, look at United Gears. I love that guy, and he has a huge backpack, but that at least looked compact and complete. Braun's doesn't even tab in anywhere and looks almost mistransformed. Like, it just looks bad, doesn't look right. This is a really big bummer. He does have a little wee bit of hollowness in the wrist, but that's fine. It doesn't look terrible.
Articulation is basic, and all these joints are pretty tight.
And he's nice and solid. The only thing that scares me here is that the arms are on ball joints. In my experience, this can in time lead to some super duper looseness, like poor wind charger here, or it could be fine and I'm just paranoid. I guess we'll just have to see in time. Accessory wise, he is a blaster. Maybe you should have used that instead of just rushing at the guy who turns into a Glock, and his spare wheel on his back can also detach for some reason. It has no purpose. I mentioned earlier, this guy's pretty tiny. Here he is next to Legends Brawn, Deluxe Slug Slinger, Voyager Galvatron, Leader Overlord, Halo CE.
Okay, this level actually looks pretty good in the anniversary, but why can't I shoot this guy? Why can't I shoot him? Oh, it's because there was a tree in my way the whole time.
I think this robot mode, for the most part, is pretty good. It's got its issues, but I still like it. Jeep time. Here we have the Jeep mode. Transformation is fine, no issues, and the Jeep itself looks pretty good, again, for the most part. Nice detail on the bumper and windows. I love them. I vastly prefer having these blue painted windows as opposed to just the blue translucent plastic. This thing is just so cute and smushed in like the nostalgic G1 way. I don't know how to describe it, but like it makes me think of Bumblebee. These cars just look kind of squashed and cartoony, and I mess with it. Roll car roll. He's got some nice detail on the back too, like this gas can. What I don't mess with is these sides. Ugly and gappy. Not a deal breaker, but far from pretty. Jeep mode, I like. Overall, I think 86 Braun is a completely fine figure. He's like the best dead shoulder guy we have so far, but I'm struggling to call this guy definitive. Like, the back is so ugly, paint is chipping, and I'm not super confident these ball joints are gonna age well. Worth picking up if you're missing a Braun in your collection for sure, but if you're just looking for a fun figure to mess around with, you could do a lot better. But you could also do a lot worse. Also, there's a dead version of this guy you can buy where it's just his corpse after they shot him to death, so I guess you could buy that if you want. If you like this video, leave a comment to tell me how crappy it was. If you want me to unhinge my jaw, make sure you comment that. I'll do it if you ask real nicely. Patreon has more content, videos early, can tell me to make videos over there, tell me what figures you want to be made video. That was incoherent. Yeah, you can demand what videos you want me to make, just don't be too mean to me. Okay, bye-bye.